Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so if any queries there, so please put it in a chat box. So I will explain about this. So now we are going to discuss the unit number 5, that is about project management techniques. So for the completion of any project, we require project scheduling, project planning, and project controlling. So that terms is required for successive completion of your project. So that's why it is nothing but a project management, because in project management we are to controlling, scheduling, and the planning. So that much we are activity we carried for the project management. So that purpose we requiring some techniques. So this is the techniques we are discussing over here for the project management. So in that content, we are going to discuss here the difference between project and other manufacturing systems. Second content is the defining a scope of project. Then third is a necessity of different planning techniques for project management. So here in that point, we are going to discuss different techniques related with traditional as well as nowadays technology. So that techniques we are discussing here. The next, use of network for planning of a project. The next one is a CPM and PERT, that is critical path method, and PERT is nothing but you can say that project evaluation routine techniques. Okay, so these are point we are going to discuss here in this session. So now we are going to discuss here the difference between the project and other production manufacturing systems. So in first sense, we have to discuss here first about the production. So what is meant by production actually? So it is a process that can produce a new component with a different ways. That means what different conversion processes we can use over here. And here we can use the input as a raw materials, semi-finished products, or you can say unassembled products. So this is the inputs, and we are converting into a new finished products. So that's why we require a conversion process. So that whole system is called as production. So this is the consisting with three components. Already we discussed this: input, second is the conversion process, and third one is output. So in input we have say the raw material, machines and labor, etc. So these are inputs we are controlling. Then according to that we have to processing it. That's why we're requiring manual way or mechanical way or chemical way, and then we can convert the output way. So this is about the production system. So now we know that about the different production system is there. So first of all, we discuss these examples regarding the tangible goods and intangible goods. So in tangible goods, we require some processes, right? So this is example of sugar industry. So in sugar industry, we raw material is a sugar cane, and then we are using different processes, and then we can convert the final product as a sugar. So this is the tangible goods. That means what you are requiring number of conversion processes over here. But in case of intangible goods, what will happen? Only we have to give the code. That is in the software industry, we have to give in the code, or you can say convert the program, and then we can finalize your automation. So that is nothing but your intangible goods. There is no conversion is required. So this is the examples of production system. So there are different goods is here, that is intangible goods and tangible goods. So next is about manufacturing system. So already we discussed in a manufacturing processes. So this manufacturing system is nothing but a framework with a conversion of input to the output occurs. Okay. So this is about the manufacturing system. So it requires the requirements of the different resources we can plan over here. Then accordingly you can schedule according to your required the information from the people and outside the research. Then this is convert and a success of your the system, that is your manufacturing system. So here we require the operations of machines, tools, materials, peoples. So these are the intangible products we can convert that way. That is called as a manufacturing system. So now we move for the types of production system. So this is actually basic theoretical we are discussing regarding this. So production system is nothing but a manufacturing system. So here we making a two parts. One is intermediate production system and second is a continuous production system. So in a continuous production system, the flow of the automation is there. That means what the continuously or repetitive task we can perform in same activity we can do over there. That is called as continuous production system. So here the mass production we can possible over here, as well as process production we can possible here. But in case of intermediate production system, we can accommodate according to the customer need. If it is customer need is more and more, so according to that we can manufacture. So if it is customer having different ideas and different concepts, so according to we can manufacture and you can produce it. That means it is called as intermediate production system. So here there is no continuation is there. So here there is no any repetitive task is there. So that is about overall system. So again I repeat, this production system we are dividing two parts. One is continuous and second is intermediate. So here the continuation is there. That means flow of continuation is there. So we are observed in a different industry like car manufacturing industry, that is automotive industries. And in case of intermediate production system, that should be happen in a new product development. That is nothing but a new product development company is there. So that time, that's nothing but your uh, that creation of new products we can create over here. That is nothing but R&D. Okay, so that type of company is available with us. Now we are go for one by one. That is, first one is a continuous production system. So we are discussing here the features. So what is the feature here? The feature is the flow of process is continuous. So flow is continuous and it is not intermediate. Okay, so there is no intermediate there. The next products are standardized. So here products are standardized and as per the quality standards. That's why we are maintaining identical parts. That means same parts we can produce in a way. Okay, suppose one car is there, so same car will be producing day by day. So this is the continuous production system. So here we have followed the routing sheets as well as schedule. So according to that we can complete the targets according to the demand of customers. So that is called as continuous production system. So here we have categorized the continuous production system is in two terms, that is about mass production and process production. Mass production, already we discussed this point. Mass production is nothing but automotive industries where we can assemble different components. So this repetitive task we have performed, that is called as a continuous production system. So now we go for the next point, that is about process production. So what is process production actually? You know that process production is nothing but oil refinery or cement companies is there. So that processes we are carried in a different way, because this is processing conversion process is there. So one form to another form we are converging, that is suppose sometimes required liquid form to solid form to liquid form. So likewise we are doing processes. So according to that there is chemical process or mechanical process or hydraulic process. So we can do this, and this is the nothing but a process production. Okay, so this is called as continuous production system. So these are the two components we are responsible for the continuous production system. Now we move for the next, that is intermediate production system. So here we got the variety of products. That means what? According to the customer need, we can get the products and then we can manufacture the products. So likewise, we can do the intermediate production system, because here the volume of the production is small. So small batch production is there. Okay. So according to the customer need, we can manufacture and we can go for it. So here also the general purpose machine is used. Sequence of operation changes as per design. That means what? Suppose one customer is having different design, so accordingly we can manufacture. Some other customer is there, so we can go for that and then we can manufacture accordingly. That means what? Sequencing operations we varied. Also, if it is some machine is not used, you can use it in next time. So accordingly, your design you can accommodate your sequence of operations. So here maximum scheduling is required for here. Then production is depending on your customer order. That means it is depending on customer order only. Is it clear? Now next we are discussing this type of intermediate production system in a three parts. One is a batch shop, job shop, and project system. Okay, so in batch shop we have to batch wise production is there. That means suppose one machine is required from the customer, so according to your manufacturer in a batch wise. And job shop means what? According to your fabrications work. So some part will be different, some other part will be different. So according to accommodate over there, and then we can produce a job shop production. And project means what? We can create a new creativity, new component or new innovations we carried over there. That means what? We can take more help of R&D departments. Now we move for the next point. So here we compare with intermediate versus continuous production. So in case of internet operations, great variety is there. That means maximum variety we can observe here. So in one company, we can produce one more than 2 or 4 components, right? So new components we can forming in a such a way that is why the variety can obtain in a great manner. But in case continuous operations, there is, or can say continuous production, there is repetitive task is there. That's why there is no any variety. Okay, so there is a small variety. We can say one or two products we can manufacture in a company. That is small scale industry. It may be okay. Now we for degree of standardization. So here the identical parts we are manufacturing continuous operations means what same car we are developing is repetitive task. So that's why there is standardization limitation is more. Okay, but in case of intermediate operations there is low cases available. Now next we go for the organization of resources, that is about line flow or grouped by functions. Okay, so this is about processes, so we can follow all this. Then factors affecting on a driving production, that is it is customer or orders, that is in case of intermediate production. So intermediate production is nothing but your small scale industry according to your usage or according to your customer need, we can order for that and then we can manufacture. But in case of continuous operation, we can forecasting. That means what, we can take market survey and then we can go for the demand. Is it clear? So that is called as a forecast of demand. Then next we go for critical resources, that is about labor or can say capital. Okay, so this is about the intermediate versus capital continuous production. Then type of equipment. So what is the type of equipment actually? This is general purpose or specialized purpose. So according to that we can get the equipment size. Then work in process inventory, that is more or less. So in intermediate operations, because your new product is developed over here, that's why it requires more inventory. But in case of continuous operation, it required less because you know that all the demand. That's why all the components also known to you, all the raw materials also known to you. So that's why you can purchase accordingly, and that's why the less inventory is required. So less inventory is in work in process. So this is about that is differentiation between the intermediate and continuous production. So here we are observing different manufacturing system. So in that we are categorized intermediate and continuous. So we'll observe in a graph also. So this is about graph. We calculate against about the volume versus variety. Okay. So here are different manufacturing systems we are used over here. So two part we have categorized. One is a continuous and another is an intermediate. So this line dividing the two parts, right? They are in the two parts. This is intermediate production is an upper side and a lower side, that is about continuous production system. So in that is lower production system having two parts. Is it clear? Okay. So here the mass production process. Mass production means what? You are continuously produces. So that's why volume of the production is more. So that's why the x-axis is more for the mass production as well as flow process production. So this is repeatedly you are performing the work. That's why continuous production system is on lower side of this line. And if you observe for the upper side, this project, job shop and batch production is on upper side. So that's why we have observing number of variety. Number of variety means what? We have to new design specifications we have created over here. According to your usage of your machines, you can manufacture new products. So that should be possibility in a intermediate production system. So here no repetitive task is there. Here you are creating new versions. Okay, so this is why variety is more in case of this intermediate production system. And but in case of that, low volume is there. Low volume means low production rate is there. But in case of high production rate is observed in a mass production as well as in a flow production process. So this is about the type of production processes. So is it clear? Okay, so now we are going to next point, that is about types of continuous production system. So here we observe about the types. First of all, we look at this continuous. So already we discussed. So one by one we discuss for the mass production and then we go for process production. So in continuous production is the mass production. It is a formation of continuous output. So here we can continuous output is observed over here, and it is in a bulky format. That means what? Number of atoms is more. That means number of cars is observed here. So this is automotive industries. So same components and same repetitive task is there. So here we require degree of standardization is high because identical parts we are creating over here, and it is that's why we are producing this component. So this production rate is low. Also it requires semi-skilled or unskilled labor because automation is nowadays introduced over here. So that's why only the proper arrangement or we can carry over there. Then chocolate bars, actually we are forming in a chocolate industries. Then go for electronic goods also. This is about mass production because more demand is there. So we can, according to market survey, you can observe it and then you go for mass production. When you go for mass production, when you require a more quantity, so more quantity we observe from your forecasting from market. That means what you can say that the market survey can do over here, and according to that we can go for manufacturing. So that is why we can decide the quantity. So if it is more quantity is there, so you can go for mass production. Okay, so now next part is about process production. What is about process production? So if you go for less or large capital investment is there. Actually, it is observed for the more production rate. So it is observed in oil refining companies and cement companies. So here the persons with limited skills but production process is higher rate and with reduced cycle time. So this is about the process production. So more importance is there because oil refining is important. Then cement is also important to you for construction purpose. So their large investment is there, but the production rate also is higher, right? So it absorbs the more goods producing component. This is about the differentiation between the process production and mass production. So this is the criteria under continuous production. So continuous follow up this channel is there. Repetitive task is produced in a mass production and process production. That is why it is called as continuous production system. Is it clear? So any question is there, please ask me. Okay, so now we are moving to next system, that is about intermediate production system. So first is a project system, second is job shop, third is batch shop production. So in a nowadays project system means what? You have to create a new project. Okay, so you do not imagine. So if you consider bridge, so there is no imagination how it creates and what are the type of soil is there, what are the conditions over there. So that is why this is all unknown to you. So that's time it difficult to manufacture, difficult to produce is over there. So that time this called as a project management system or project production system. And next case is job shop production. So according to fabrication, suppose small fabrications we can do here. So according to the customer needs, so customer is needed, then and then only you can manufacture. So carpenter is there, or smithing shop is there. So you observe job shop production. Batch shop production is observed in a, suppose engine is there. So engine requires more components, so we can manufacture in a some way, and that is nothing but in a production of batch production. So I will discuss in one by one. So first of all we can go for job shop production. So here we require the characteristics like production in small lots. So small lots we can produce here. Small volume is there. Small volume means small production quantity is there. Then we go for customer satisfaction. For that purpose, we can go for customer specifications. Specifications is demand commitment from the customer. That's why we can compile and we can execute it for the production. So here also skilled labor is required because the fabrication work as well as woodworking work is more work skill is required, and also it follows a number of shapes like this. That is why important to you. And here may require more inventory. So you observe in a number of fabrication shops that inventory is maximum because raw material is stored over here, and according to the customer we can get the material and then we can form the shapes. So here largest inventory, that means what? Here largest work in progress inventory is there. So that accumulates the more charges for the cost of your project. Is it clear? So this is the flow chart. So job one, job two. Suppose one job is enter, so it can operation do over here. Second job operation, third job. Again we can go for fourth job. Again we go for fourth job. So likewise mechanism we are developing for the job shop. So number of machines we are used here. So different sequences we can use here. So there is no any perfect sequence, but in case of continuous manufacturing system, it requires sequential operations, right? Why? That is why single operation specialized machines are required, but in case of general purpose operations we require. So that's why general purpose machine we use here for the job shop production. Similarly we have for batch production system. So in a batch production system, made and stock until the demand. and general purpose machines we are used over here, and according to the need we can plan for it, and it can control the up to the target levels. So example is about aircraft engine. So there is no if until the demands is there, you do not manufacture, because the aircraft engines, it requires more time as well as more investment is there. So that's why we can go for batch type productions. So according to batch wise we can allot it, and then we can planning for that, and according to the executions of the, so that is about the batch production system. Now important term is batch type, project type production. So here the requirement of resources variations, delays takes place because no idea regarding the product, that's why it require more time. Many agencies are involved for the R&D, that's why it is called as project type production. Here there is no any repetitive task is there. Also here we have to certain period of time you can complete. It is not a time bound. So it is no time bound is there for project type production. So example is ship construction, bridge construction, buildings, large machines. That's why it requires more time. So here the project has highly flexible and low volume type operations. So here variety is produced, but volume is or quantity is less. Is it clear? So that is the project type production. So here we are discussing more and more about the manufacturing system. So firstly, we discuss the manufacturing system. Here there are two parts: intermediate as well as continuous. In continuous, we are discussing regarding the process as well as process production, as well as we are discuss mass production. And in case of the intermediate production system, we are discuss batch type production, job shop production, and project type production. So these are the important type of production system we are discussed in this case. So now we are going to discuss means what is meant by project. So if any queries there, please ask. Otherwise, we are moving for the next point. Okay. So if any queries there, please ask me. Otherwise, we have joined for the next point, that is about project. So actually, project is nothing but interrelated set of activities, because this is important part of project type production. Okay. So this is about important terms we are discussing here, and if it is this is disconnection. Okay. Now we go for the this is the important term we are discussing here. So what is my project actually? So it is nothing but a set of activities. It starts from starting to the end points, and the results will be unique a product, but it is here no time limit is there. That's why it is called as project type production. Is it clear? Project type production. So here the uncertainties like new technology use or not, then external environment is also affected over here. Then you can go for the according to need varied the skills. So according to this vary the skills. So that type of persons we require over here. So that type of challenges we are facing over here. So in case of project type of production, okay, project type productions. So here also temporary assembling line is there. Also here limiting not limited time, but it is having a certain period of time is there, and because you have to complete the project in a within a allotted resources. The resources means what? Raw material and machines as well as labor. So these are the resource we can optimized. We can optimizing in a way such a way that the project will be executed level, as well as we can concentrate about the project cost, project time, project durations. We have observed these things. So that's why it is nothing but a set of activities starting from the point to ending point, and we get the successive results of init product. That is nothing but a project. So there is a more challenges because new certainties, new technologies there, external environment is there. So this is challenges we are facing for the project. Now we move for the project. What is my project actually? The combinations of internal activities and execution of certain period of time, and the task is completed. So actually we are observing this chart actually project versus routine work. So what is mean by project actually? The project is nothing but your Apple type of mobile. That is nothing but iPhone. So this is new creative product is there. So that is about project. But if it is repetitive work is there, that is called as routine manufacturing, right? So there is no routine manufacturing. New product is there, then it is called as project. and only repetitive task is there. So there is repetitive manufacturing is nothing but repetitive task, repetitive work. So this is difference between project versus routine work. Okay. So newly developed, or I can say newly challenging, we are creating a new source that is called as project, and it is nothing but beginning to start your entire study over there, and then we can go for it. Now we go for the silent features regarding the project. So what is the silent features observed here? That is nothing but identifying beginning and ends. That is about project. So here it is not repetitive tasks. It is not a repetitive task. Again, I repeat, not a repetitive task is there. Execution of resources is there. It requires execution. Means what? We have to maintain your the resources like the labor, then machines, then that raw materials. So that stock we can maintain and execute in a such a way that the project cost will be minimum and project time also minimum. So that type of execution is required. So that's why we require also scheduling. So scheduling is required because of we are completing the task in a target date. Suppose you consider the example of construction industries. In construction, if you go for the bridge, so certain period or certain target is given to you, and according to your research or according to your resources, we can execute this plan and then we can form a project. So here requires more investment, right? Because it requires more resources. Then according to the environmental features, also affection is there. Then it also evolves the risk as well as uncertainties, because the task is more critical. If it is critical, then it is completed within time or not. So that type of risk is also there. Uncertainties, that means it happen or not. So this because we are going for alternation, that if we going for trial and errors, so that's why it is that the mind in said that this is uncertainties and risk is there. So that is about the project. So small if you go for these projects, so this is the challenges we are facing over here. Okay, so that's why it is nothing but a project type production. Now what is the scope regarding the project? So what is the scope here? So we are minimizing the project cost, project time, and improve the project quality. So these are the scope we have follow for it, and then we deliver to the customer. So this is about the project uh, scope. So there this cost, time, and quality we maintain by project management techniques. So the project plan we can create and then we can execute your success, because when you completing within time, that will help to minimizing your cost, as well as the cost we can benefit within a few days. Within backfills you can create the new qualities, right? So that is about the project techniques. So now we introduce about the project techniques. What is the project techniques evolved over here? So before that, we have to go for project management. So already we discussed this project, what is meant by project and what is the importance of project. So project is nothing but your beginning and end points, which is identified, but the durations and executions is not known to you. That is nothing but a project. It is a not repetitive task, and it is nothing but uncertainty of your risk. Is it clear? So this is about the project. So for that project management, we require the some activities. So that activities we are following, that must is the project planning. Then we go for the project scheduling, then project controlling. So these are the tools we are using for the project management. So project management is nothing but application of processes, methods, knowledge, skill, and experiences to achieve the project objective. So this is about the project management. So nowadays we observe the number of things that if it is suitable plan is there, schedule is there, so then you can achieve within a target level, or you can say target date. Now we go for the tools and techniques of the project management. Why it is go for tools and techniques? Because we are maintaining this cost, time, and quality. So while maintaining the cost, time, and quality, we require the project management, and that's why this project management is done by the different techniques. So what is the different techniques? The technique is like that: chart and network diagram. So what is importance of chart? So we observe in the two-dimensional format, and then we can assess that what type of forecasting is there and what type of demand is will be there, and that type of assessment we can do by the charts. But in case of network diagram, so you already know that the network diagram means what? CPM and PERT, that is critical path method, and PERT is nothing but project evaluation routine method or routine technique. This is nothing but network diagram. So CPM and PERT is useful for large scale industries. Okay, so large scale industry, or can say large projects. Okay, so it is used in a large projects. But in case of chart, so it is required for only small type of projects. So small type of project is there, then we can go for chart. And if it requires maximum, or can say large scale project, you can go for network diagram. So now we go for the charts. So what is mean by chart actually? So already we discussed this bar chart in a manufacturing process subject. So again I repeat this. So we are observing the progress report. That means progresses we are observing and scheduling accordingly. So that is nothing but bar chart. So this is two-dimensional format and represent in a project. So this gives the review of the project process, that is called as bar charts. So we are plotting our against x and y axis, and we are plot the bar, right? So according to your year, according to your week, according to your month, so you can plot this, and then we can analyzing the statistical data over here. Then next chart is about milestone chart. So what is mean by milestone chart? It is nothing but a modified version of bar chart. So it is also representing the beginning to end of the activity. So that will clear us about the project cost as well as project time. Is it clear? So sometimes it is giving approximation values. So that's why it is not used in a milestone charts. The next chart is about velocity diagrams, or you can say the linked bar charts. So here, if it is in series of acceleration is there, so like assembly, then we can go for velocity diagrams. So that is about techniques. So these are the techniques, right? So these are the techniques. One is a chart, another is a network diagram. And in the chart, there are three techniques, and in network, there are two techniques. So this is about the techniques for the project management. So project management means what? We can planning, scheduling, and controlling. And with the help of that, we can manage this thing, that is cost, time, and quality. Okay. So this is the importance of the charts. Now we go for network diagram. So this is charts. So we are considering bar chart, milestone chart, and linked bar chart. And in case of network diagram, so network diagram is having some objectives. So already we discussed the minimizing of total time. So if you require the more time for the project, so you can go for the network diagram. So you can easily identify and easily we can adopt in the total time, right? Minimizing total time. And if you go for minimizing of total cost also, so if any large scale jobs or a large scale project is there, so that time this type of activity we can follow, that is minimization of total time and minimization of total cost. Similarly, we can go for that minimum total delay, that means that production delay is there. So whenever the production delay is there, so we can accommodate with the help of network diagram. So we can identify that, and then we can go for planning, scheduling, monitoring, and the coordinating all the skills of the projects, and then we can simply the forming a new activities, and that is nothing but your completion of your project. So within time, within your reasonable cost, and within that delay, we can perform an activity. So that's why network diagram is mostly used in industries nowadays. So here the applications we are discussing here. So what is the applications behind the network analysis is there? One is a construction of bridges. So construction of bridges, that means what? Construction we are carried over here. Then in case of bridges, so you don't know about total time, total cost. So only you are having the chart and your diagrams that you can as a plan. But nowadays, what type of material is used, what type of the resources we are using, so that type of information you can take, then you can forming a network and loops, and then network loops which is helpful to carry the processes, and then we can easily identify the project cost, project time, and schedule time. So this is the importance of network analysis. Then assembly line scheduling. So within assembly line, the skilled unskilled or skilled labor is there. So how it is reduce the idle time. so that activity can carried by network analysis. So idle time, if you reduce it, so we can get the maximum production rate. That's why for using this network analysis, we can schedule like this in your manner, and then idle time will be reduces, so it can improve your project cost, if you improve the production time. Okay, so next is the installation of complex equipment. So if you go for wind turbine, so you heard about wind turbine, so that installation cost is more, as well as this complex structure is there. So how it is resolved, which part is your scheduling, how to controlling these factors. So this type of problems we can channelize by network analysis. Then inventory planning and control. This type of activities, or this type of function, that inventory management, so that shall involve in a batch type production, or you can say project type production. Okay, that means what, here more amount of inventory is required, so more investment is there. So that's why this investment or this inventory cost added, that's why the project cost will be automatically increases. So how it is utilized in a minimum way, so that type of study will also do by the network analysis. Is it clear? So this is about the network analysis. Now we move for the network analysis having two parts. So already we discussed this network analysis. So this is number of techniques for planning and control of complex projects. So here we are having two parts, that is PERT and CPM, that is PERT, that is project evaluation and review techniques or routine techniques. CPM, that is about critical path method. So you observed here critical path method. So these are the most frequently used the network analysis. So which one is used for PERT and CPM? I will explain this point. So this is differentiation between PERT and CPM. So in PERT, that is PERT, that is project evaluation routine technique, or can say project evaluation review technique. So in that technique, we have know that probability models. Probability model means what? You know that all the data will be unpredictable. So that time we can go for PERT. That is nothing but we are using for research projects, right? So research project is having like that. It has no chance to. It is no idea about this plan. So that's why this is nothing but probable data. So whenever probable data is there, so you can go for PERT. And CPM, it is opposite of that. If your data will be known to you, that is nothing but your deterministic model. So if you know that construction management, or can say construction projects, so we can follow by the CPM. So these methods we can use PERT and CPM. Okay, so in PERT actually it does not consider a cost, because in research projects we are not considering the project's cost. But in case of CPM, so it deals with project cost. So how it is minimize the project cost, we can study in a CPM. So this is the two techniques we are monitoring in the next lectures. Okay, so what is the techniques used for the large scale industries and small scale industries or small projects? So in PERT we can use for small scale large projects. But in case of CPM, so it is data is known to you, so then you can go for CPM. So example we can use in construction industries for the CPM, and PERT is used for in a research type of project. So that time we can plan it, schedule it for completion of work in a within a time. So this is about the CPM and PERT. Okay, so this is the nothing but a network analysis. So network analysis is important to tools and techniques for the project management, because if you go for project management is what we can controlling the planning and scheduling. So why it is required planning, controlling, and that scheduling? Because we have to control the project in a such a way manner that it requires less time, less cost, and maximization. That delay should be go for minimum. So this will help to create a new variety of products, and this will help to motive or success of your project. So that is why this important of that project management is there. And for achieving this project management, we are using different techniques, that is chart, then network diagrams. So chart is now traditional ways, it is not to use actually nowadays, but you go for network diagram for large scale industries as well as small scale industry. But if your small project is there, don't go for network analysis, you go for the chart analysis, because in a network analysis the data is required more and more, but in case of charts only two-dimensional format required is there. So x and y value is required. So again we can check the that review of the project process. So this is about the charts. So in this content we are already discussed this point. This is the network analysis and CPM and PERT. So in this session we are discussed all these things. Is it clear? Probable, yes, the question is like probable. What is probable? The probable means what? It is uncertain, it is there. So this project is happen or not. So that like that doubt is mind in your mind. That's why the probability is there. So that time you can go for PERT. And if it is the data is known to you and you know that it is fully manufactured and it is only the time or cost is parameter, so then we can go for CPM. That means what? Deterministic model is there. So these are two models, probabilistic and deterministic. So uncertain is available in a PERT, but in case of CPM it is not available. So this is the importance of the CPM and PERT. So now we going for discussion of how to use the network. So how to create the networks in our technologies. So first is activity, second is event, third is a path, and fourth is a network. So here the activity means what? The consumption of your time, money and energy. So here the activities, first activity is there. So you can write A, and this is called as this two circle is there, that is called as node. So node we can form, that is activity. So here starting point to ending point, so that is nothing but activity. And but in case of event, the node is always present and at the beginning and at the end of activity. So I'll explain this in next slides, what is by activity and event. So this will clear us about your problem statements. Okay, now we go for the path. So path is nothing but it is a unbroken chain activity. Here the continuations of your project is there. So after completion of first point, it go for second point. Suppose knurling operation is there, then go for drilling purpose, then go for knurling, dreaming, then we go for milling. So likewise sequential operation is there, right? So that path is unbroken. That is nothing but it is in a chain, right? Unbroken chain. So that is called as a path. Then next is a network. So how to create a networks actually? So we can attach the arrow and nodes. Node means this is circular part. So this arrow and node that is circular part we can attach in a sequential as well as in a logical manner, that is called as a network. So that will cause effective in a project cost as well as project time. So that's why the network analysis is formed because of these three activities. That means one is a representation of logical sequential in a such a way that it can help to formulating for the project time and project cost. So while project management, we also discussed this point regarding the network constructions. So how it network constructions we can carry it. So here the each activity should be in a written in a arrow format. Then time flows from right to right. This is the rule actually. So when you're forming the network constructions, there are time flows from left to right. Also here the arrow should be in a straight as well as it is not in curve shapes. So in this straight manner is there. Then angle between the arrow should be large as possible. The next is arrow should be not cross with each other. This is of important terms. Okay, so these are the 5 points we require for construction. And if it is dummy activity is there, dummy activity, when you can use dummy activity, suppose A is your function, so you complete it, so you can write a node. That means what? You can draw a circle. So after completion of A, we can draw a circle. So after completion of B, we can draw a circle and we can take an arrow. But in sometimes what will happen, the C activity is there. So A, B, C, 3 activities there. Na? So C activities when it is completed, when and when only A and B is completed. So C activity when completed, when A and B is completed. So that's why A is carried over here, B is carried by this X, that is dummy arrow. So this is dummy arrow. So we can create it. So this is A and B combination will be there, and then collaboratively it complete the C activity. So that is about the dummy activity. So when you can represent the dummy activity, so when we intercorrelate with two operations or two activities, then we can go for dummy activity, A and B. So A and B, when it is completed, then C will be completed. So before that, C, A and B complete is required. Means C chart. Before C, A and B is required. So this is about the network construction. So this construction we will follow in this case. Okay. So this is the main thing we are discussed here. So in today's lecture we are discussing regarding the same point related with the project management system. So here we look at the production systems, right? Then we can go for the scope of the project. Then we go for the techniques regarding the project management, that is charts and network analysis. Now we go for in next lectures, this is the use of networks and how it is planned for CPM and port. So these are the examples we are going to discuss in next lectures. So if any queries there, so this is theoretical parts we are discussing today's lectures. So what is my production, what is meant by production system, and what are the data types, how it the production system varies, what is the difference between the variety and volumes. Variety is where it is variety is on a upper side, the main more variety is there. In lower side, the lower maximum volume is there, but variety is minimum. So this type of activity we are discussed over here. Mass production, then process production we are discussed, then we go for intermediate production. So in that project production system, job shop production, batch shop production, so when you can go for it. So this type of activity we are discussed. So if any queries there, please ask me. So these are the points we are discussed. In next lecture we are going to discuss this CPM and PERT. Okay, CP and PERT. So this is CP and PERT is important. So if any queries there, please ask. So otherwise we can leave this class. Okay. Okay, so any no queries there. So this is about the all the questions. Okay, I will read this chat box. Okay, so if any queries is there, okay, no queries there. So if it is any queries there, so please ask me. Otherwise, we can join the next lecture. Thank you.